Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of God, the most merciful and beneficent. Dear students, in today's lecture, we shall be talking about the working capital management. What is meant by working capital and what is meant by working capital management? If we know the term working capital, then we can easily understand that what is working capital management. Dear students, working capital is basically the overall current assets and current liability of a business. And such a management and the management of current assets and current liability of a business is called working capital management. So first of all, we will take an overview of the working capital management. What are those concepts which are involved with working capital management? We call it working capital concepts. Then working capital issues. What are those issues in the business that is associated with the working capital? Financing current assets. It means how you can finance the current assets or working capital. It means short-term financing and long-term financing, and we can mix the short-term and long-term financing. And combining liability structure and current assets decisions. So first of all, what are those concepts which are associated with the working capital? And we call it as the working capital concepts. Number one, net working capital. When we call the net working capital of a business, we obviously means that current assets minus current liabilities. For example, if our current assets are 50,000 and our current liabilities are 40,000, it means that 50 minus 40,000 is equal to 10,000. So in this case 10,000 will be our net working capital. Gross working capital, the firm's investment in current assets. The total value of the current assets is the gross working capital. For example, we are having 50,000 investment in the current assets. We do not need to minus the current liabilities. In this case, the 50,000 investment in the current assets is basically your gross working capital. Or simple, we can say that total amount of current assets is your gross working capital, while current assets minus total amount of current assets minus current liability is basically net working capital. Working capital management. So the management of the working capital is working capital management, or the administration of the firm's current assets and the financing needed to support current assets. It means the administration of the firm current assets and current liability. So when you are administering current asset and current liability, this is basically called working capital management. So what are the significance or importance of the working capital management? Why a manager should manage the current assets and current liability? Why it is important? Why it is important in the manufacturing business? Why it is important in the merchandising business? What is the need and why we are doing this? In a typical manufacturing firm, current assets exceeds one half of the total assets. It means that current assets is more than the total assets of the business, especially the fixed assets and other assets. Excessive level can result in a substandard return on investment. In the first para, if we see in the first para, it means that most of the businesses have higher level of current assets. And in that case, you have to manage the current assets and your current liability. So that is why it is important to manage the working capital. In the second para, excessive level can result in a substandard return on investment. If we have a lot of current assets, it means that our performance will be below standard. It will be substandard. It will be below standard. Our return on investment will be decreasing because of the excessive level of current assets. We need an optimal amount of current assets, which is neither very high nor very lower. So we need a optimal amount of current assets. Not more than that, not less than that. Optimal amount. So if we have excess amount of current assets or working capital, you will be having a substandard or a negative result on the return on investment. ROI means net profit divided by total assets. So as the total assets increases, it means as the current assets increases, the total asset will increase, and as the total assets increases, it will be having a negative impact on the profitability of the business. Third, current liabilities are the principal source of external financing for small firms. If we see the current liabilities, so we can say that small firms depend on the current liability. Most of the financing of the small firms are from the short-term liabilities. Current liabilities are those which are payable within a short time period. For example, 1 year. 3 months liabilities payable, 4 months payable, 6 month payables. These are all the current liabilities. Notes payable, accounts payable. These are the current liabilities. So if you have current liability in your business, it means that you are having a source of financing, and it is an external source of financing. It is not internal source of financing for your business, because you are not involved yourself, you are not involved the owners of the business in the financing. Rather, the external person, the purchaser, the seller, the backward supporters and the forward supporters. Backward supporters means suppliers of the business or small firms are your source of external financing. That is why it is important to manage the working capital, because you have to manage the current liabilities as well with your parties, with your business partners. Requires continuous day-to-day managerial supervision. One of the most important part, that is significance of the working capital management, is that it is a thing which need day-to-day managerial supervision. Due to the lack of supervision, your company and your business can go into losses. So that is why we are managing the day-to-day operation of the business, the working capital of the business, and it needs day-to-day supervision. And last one, working capital management affects the company's risk, return, and share price. If you efficiently manage the working capital, so the company risk will go down, the return will be high, and the share price will be high. So that is why it is also a significance of the working capital management. Now we are coming towards the issues in the working capital management. Before I discuss issues in the working capital management, I would like to discuss some other things as well regarding working capital management. This is week 7. These are also the lecture notes. I will provide these lecture notes inshallah to you people. So working capital management, this is same like that, it refers to the management of current assets and current liabilities to ensure the financial efficient operation of the company. Then we come toward the concepts of the working capital management. So there are two concepts, gross concept and net concept, and that is the gross working capital and net working capital. So these two we have already discussed, the gross working capital and the net working capital. Then we come towards the component of working capital management. So what are those components of working capital management? Current assets and current liabilities. These are the two components of working capital management. What is meant by the current asset? Current assets are items that can be turned into cash quickly. For example, current assets are cash on hand, short-term investment, inventory, account receivable. So all those assets which are easily convertible into cash within a year, that is called current assets. Current liability are those liabilities which are short term and payable within a year, that is current liabilities, or we call it as short term liability. Characteristics. What are the characteristics of current assets? Need for short term. Number one, it is needed for the short time period and not the long time period. Circular movement. It is circulating as the business. That is why it is also called circulating capital. Permanency. Sometimes we permanently require the working capital or current assets. Some current assets are those which we require permanently. For example, the account receivable. For example, a company or a firm making account receivable time and again, so we call it as permanency. The account receivable is permanently required by the business. Similarly, cash, though cash is a short-term asset, it is a short-term asset, it is a current asset, but still it is permanently required in the business. If you don't have cash, your business will stop. Fluctuations. Fluctuation means with the passage of time, the current assets needs in the business can be fluctuating. For example, in ice cream business, it is fluctuating. The current assets are more required in the summer season, but in winter season it is less required. So that is why it is fluctuating. Its needs are fluctuating. Liquidity. It must have liquidity. It is very liquid, for it can be converted at any time into cash. So that is why it must have liquidity, it must have less risky. Investment in current assets such as working capital come with less risk for just for short term. It means it is not having very a risk. If you invest in the current assets, the risk is not very higher. If we have any problem, any questions, you can ask on WhatsApp. You can ask on WhatsApp, and you can share your question in the WhatsApp group. I will make another video on those questions. So the next is the factors that is affecting the working capital, determinants of the working capital. Okay, what are those factors which are affecting the working capital or which are affecting the current asset and current liability? The first factor is the size of the business. It means as the size of the business increases, your requirement for the current assets and current liability are increases. The nature of the business, for example merchandising business या जैसे हम तिजारत कहते हैं, सो मर्चेंडाइजिंग बिजनेस में नीड जो है वर्किंग कैपिटल का ज़्यादा होता है एज कम्पेयर टू द other businesses. Similarly, manufacturing business mostly depends on the working capital or current assets. Services business are less required and having less need of the current assets. So that is why this is also nature of the business is also a determinant of the working capital. Storage time and processing time, this is also one of the factor which is affecting the requirement of the working capital. If you have to the processing period of the from raw material to the finished product is very high, so then we need more working capital, more current assets. If the storage time is very high, so you need more working capital, no more current assets, as compared to in those businesses where the processing time is low and the storage time is very limited. Credit period, it also depends on the credit period. If the credit period is high, you will be having a lot of working capital, a lot of current assets. If the credit period is low, you will be having less current assets. Seasonal requirement, what is mean by seasonal requirement? It means, as I have already gave you an example of the ice cream business. It means if an ice cream business requires more current assets in one season and less current assets in the other season, this is called seasonal requirement, and we can say that it is seasonal effects. You can say that it is seasonal effects. Potential growth or expansion of the business. Number 6, as the business increases, as the business goes to expand, the current asset requirement will increases. And if the business potential is substandard and going to low, going to go down, it will automatically decrease the amount of the current assets and similarly current liability. So this is about the week 7. If you have any question, you can ask. Similarly, I will share with you the issues of the current assets and current liability are issues in the working capital requirements. So I will go again to the slides. Typically, we will start the working capital issues or issues in the working capital. We have already done the significance of the working capital management. Now, working capital issues. What is the optimal amount of current assets? How we can determine that this is the optimal amount? If we see on the x-axis, we have output units 25,000 and 50,000. of current assets or output units, simply output units. On the y-axis we are having assets level. We are having policy 1 where the current assets are very high or the assets level is very high. Policy B where the we are having moderate current assets, and policy C where we are having the low current assets. So what are the assumptions? Assumptions are 50,000 maximum units of production, continuous production, 3 different policies for current assets level are possible. These are the assumptions that this business maximally can produce 50,000 of units. Number 2, this business is having 3 types of policies, 3 types of alternatives for the current assets. In policy A, the company will be having a higher level of, these are all assumptions. We are just going to make some conclusion based on these assumptions. This company in policy A will be having a higher level of current assets. When this company applies policy B, it will be having a medium type of current assets, medium level of current assets, and policy C describes the low level of current assets or low level of assets. So what will occur in these 3 types of policies? Number 1, if we take liquidity analysis, if we analyze the 3 policies in light of liquidity, so policy A will be having a higher level of liquidity in the business. If the business adopt policy A, it means that the current assets will be higher, and when the current assets are very higher, it means the liquidity will be very higher. What is meant by liquidity? Liquidity means the conversion power of the assets in the cash with the speed and ease. The conversion of current assets into, or the conversion of assets into cash. If it is easily convertible, it is speedy convertible, and it is very easy to convert into cash, it means that the liquidity is higher in the business. So as we know that current assets and all current assets are easily convertible into cash, so as the current assets exceeding is the business, its liquidity exceeded. So as the policy A is having higher level of current assets, so it means the liquidity will be high in policy A if the business adopt policy A. B shows the average amount of current assets. If the company adopt policy B, so it means the liquidity will be average. If C, then the liquidity level will be low. Impact on expected profitability. The second one is what will be its effect on the profitability if the company adopts policy A, policy B, policy C. So in which policy the company will be having higher level of income. Return on investment. Return on investment is basically a ratio of net profit divided by total assets. If we divide net profit by total assets or net income by total assets, it will give us the return on investment, percentage of return on investment. If we multiply by 100, then let current assets is equal to cash plus receivable plus inventory. Return on investment will be equal to net profit or net income divided by current assets plus fixed assets. It means that if we show in percentage the return on investment, it will be higher when the current assets are low, and it will be low when the current assets are higher. So policy A means that your return on investment will be low. Policy B means your return on investment will be moderate, and policy C means your return on investment will be higher, because in policy C we are having very less amount of current assets with the same profit. So if we have a constant profit, if we have the same profit, the profit remains the same, then by changing the current assets will automatically change the return on investment. So policy C in this case will be having a higher level of return on investment, or your profitability will be higher if you adopt policy C. Now impact on, okay, so profitability analysis, policy and profitability. Policy A will be having very low amount of profitability, policy B will be having average amount of profitability, while policy C, in case of policy C, the profitability of the business will be higher. Impact on risk. Now we come towards these three policies and its effect on the risk. So these are the three policies basically of the working capital, or the current assets requirements. So what is risk basically? Risk is the fluctuation in the profit. It doesn't mean loss. It is basically fluctuation in the profit. For example, if your profit is more fluctuating, then it means that your business is having higher risk. And if your profit is constant and moderately fluctuating, it means that your business is having low risk. Decreasing cash, reducing the firm's ability to meet its financial obligations, it means more risk. If we see policy C, so there is very lower amount of the current assets, and when you are having lower amount of the current assets, your ability to pay your current liability is very minimum. So that is why it is having more risk. In that case, you will be having less cash to fulfill to give your liabilities. Number 2, stricter credit policies reduce receivables and possibly lost sales and customers. If you are having very stricter credit policies, you are going towards the cash sale and not the credit sale. So it will reduce the receivables, but at the same time you will be having a loss of sales and customers. So that is why this is also having more risk. Lower inventory level increase stock outs and lost sales. If you are having very low amount of inventory in your business, it can be also a case of stock outs, just like in policy C. So policy C can be a case of stock outs and lost sales. So in policy C we are having higher risk as compared to the other policies. Risk analysis, policy A, B, C. In policy, if the company adopt policy A, it will be having very lower risk, because the current assets are very high and the current assets are easily fulfill the requirement of the current liabilities and payables. Policy B, we will be having average amount of the risk, and in policy C the risk will be very high. Summary of the optimal amount of current assets. So on what will be the optimal amount we will be having, which policy shows the optimal amount of level of current assets? Policy A, B, C, liquidity analysis, profitability analysis and risk analysis. If we see the policy A, the liquidity is very high, the profitability is low and the risk is low. If we see the policy B, everything is average, less risk is also average, profitability is average and liquidity is also average for the business in policy B. For business in policy C, the liquidity is low, the profitability is high and risk is also high. So if we see where the liquidity is high, the profitability and risk is low. And if we see where the liquidity is low, the probability and risk is high. So it means that policy C will be having more risk and more profitability. and policy A will be having low risk and low profitability. There is another conclusion as well, that the profitability and risk goes hand in hand. As the profitability increases in the business, the risk increases in the business, the profitability will also increase. For example, a manager is taking a risk in the business, he is a risk taker manager, so profitability must increases with that risk. For example, a manager is taking a risky decision, he want to expand his business, he want to establish another unit of the production in the business, though it is a risky decision at the time, but it must have an effect on the profitability. So that is why where the risk involved, the profitability also increases. So on the average, if we see, the policy B is having average, risk is also average, profitability is also average, and liquidity is also average. So it is good as compared to the policy C, where the risk is very high and on the other hand profitability is also high. Component of classification of the working capital, so this is the week 7. So in week 7 we inshallah will go towards the classification of the working capital, that is components and of the working capital, and component classification of the working capital by time, and classification of the working capital by its components. So we will see inshallah in the next lecture. In this lecture, if you are having any question, you can ask me on my WhatsApp number or in the group, or you can discuss with the CRs, and the CRs will, all the question will be given to me, and inshallah I will discuss it in the next lecture when I discuss the components of the working capital, that by time and by components, classification of the working capital by components and by time, and the three types of approaches inshallah. Okay, thank you. Allah Hafiz.